Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Rizzuto After Hours. I'm Rafe Williams, one of the 5 hosts of the Rizzuto Show, and I wanted to do a special episode today to talk to somebody very important to me. He was a guest on the Rizzuto Show earlier, and I wanted to have an extended conversation because he's my friend. I love him, and he's doing good in the world. So please welcome Dustin Row.
What's up?
What up? And we're here. He's back.
Yeah.
And he's better than ever. And we're just a couple of bros who used to be in the military who just spent 20 minutes talking about mid-century modern design right before we
very important.
Turn these cameras on because it is important. It's important to know your architecture and your history. And we're going to talk about Songs for Shoulders. And I just want Songs for Shoulders. Songs for Soldiers.
Okay.
I put people on my shoulders at Songs for Soldiers. I'll be there putting people on my shoulders at Songs for Shoulders. Be there. Craig Morgan.
I think I've told you my biggest thing I say wrong.
What is it?
Dongs for soldiers.
Dongs for Soldiers.
Throw that out there. See if it sticks.
Hey, let me tell you something. As a vet lacking in that department,
yeah,
I would sign up for that program.
Could be like a Carvana situation. Just got to order one.
It's like Turo. You borrow someone else's dong. Take it for a test drive. See if you like it. One. Yeah, you take a better one. Well, thanks for being here, dude, and chatting with me. Like, you came on the show a lot, and we talk a lot in our private life. Yeah. Both military vets. Real quick, just to start us off, give us a quick recap of what Songs for Soldiers is and kind of what we got coming up, and we'll bookend the show with that. Sure. So just kind of tell us when it's happening, what it is, what it represents, and we'll dive deeper into that later, but I want to get that out right up top.
It's a Songs for Soldiers, first and foremost, is a charity, and we help combat veterans around the country, right? So you name it, we've come across it. But if a veteran's struggling, maybe behind on their mortgage, rent, home repair, service animals, you name it, we've come across it. Most of the veterans come through the VA. We're known as an outside resource, and we can fill in that gap. So if a veteran is $2,000 behind on their mortgage, we check them out, vet them out. We will pay the mortgage directly to help them out. So that is what we do all year long with the money that we raise at our 2-day music festival. So we're kind of twofold, right? So we put a 2-day music festival on. It happens every year in the first or second weekend of September in Columbia, Illinois. So about 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis, nice little suburb, little burb, and easy to get to, easy to get out of. But yeah, 2-day music festival featuring national talent. But it's super cool. We have a massive team of sponsors and sponsorships that help us, be able to take 100% of the proceeds from that concert to help combat veterans all year long. And so we also obviously get donations throughout the year too from people.
But this is your big fundraiser.
This is our big one. Like, a lot of people do a golf tournament or something. Well, we do one of those too. It's smaller. But this is a huge concert though. I mean, it's 2 days. Mm-hmm. And we're in Columbia, Illinois. It's, again, small town. But we've had names like Cheap Trick, Travis Tritt, Jordan Davis, Night Ranger, 38 Special, Chris Shiflett from the Foo Fighters came one year and was a direct support artist. The
acts this year are great too.
Yeah, this year we got Wallflowers on Saturday, September 6th, and Friday, September 5th. We typically have a country format, and this year Craig Morgan's performing. So
that's awesome.
It's really cool, and it's affordable.
Now, was Craig in the military?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, is again.
He is again.
Yeah, he was in the military for a long time, and then somewhere, I don't know when, later on in life, not long ago, joined back up. Probably like a chief warrant officer or something like that, if I think I heard correctly.
So this is a legitimate thing. This isn't like a Dean Cain trying to join ICE sad situation. No. This is Craig Morgan's legit.
Yeah, and dude, he's a legit dude. Casey interviewed him, and I listened to the interview. I wasn't on it. He kind of sounds like my dad.
He is, dude. Maybe you're a Morgan at heart.
Maybe.
Craig got around back in the day.
Could have. I have to ask where he was stationed in 84. Could it have been Scott Air Force Base?
Possible. I tried to convince David Lee Roth he was my dad Monday night, but that's for another podcast.
Okay. What was the short answer?
The short answer was, I went dressed as David Lee Roth, but because of my curly hair, I was like, went to David Lee Roth concert, and I wanted him to have a moment when I was wearing his red spandex, very clenched and very much moose knuckled out.
Ooh.
I had on a snakeskin shirt, snakeskin boots.
It was like a vest.
And a vest.
I saw this photo.
And I wanted him to look in the crowd and be like, who's this boy with Sammy Hagar's hair but my aura? With the feather dangly earring. Is this my son? And I did say I love you, Dad, during a very quiet part of the concert. Got him to look my way. So I think the ice cream man, just for a split second, he might have questioned his parentage of me. And that was worth it. And that was great. But I don't think I don't think David Lee cares either. I think he's got a few illegitimate children floating around that he's not really taking care of now. So
there's lots of Van Halen kids out there.
There are a lot of Van Heathens running around out there. Yeah. Trademark Van Heathen.
Boom.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, this is a really cool organization. Obviously, you guys take care of combat vets. Mm-hmm. We were both in the Army.
Yep.
And one of the things I joke about, I do another show called The Number 2 Show. It's on hiatus right now, but this is approximately when you pooped in the Army.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize there's not a lot of armies where I learned that privacy was a privilege and not a right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pooping very close together. We could read the other guy's newspaper because a lot of I was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, which is the butthole of America, in Lawton, Oklahoma. If you've never been, don't go. And
if that's the case, then Fort Leonard Wood would be the taint.
Yes, Fort Leonard Wood is definitely the skin bridge that connects you to Lawton, Oklahoma.
Yes.
But there we would just have like the metal cans, even in the barracks sometimes, and you would just be shitting, like watching another grown man wipe his ass. I was in from 98 to 06.
Okay.
Primarily National Guard. I kept West Frankfort, Illinois safe. You were in, that's right.
I was in
somebody had to protect West Frankfort.
West Frankfort. I was in 01 to 07, but when I was doing my deployments, I was a reservist as well, but got called up for the Iraq War stuff. Yeah. And but we at one point, had to go to an old base because they were sending everybody overseas. So we were at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, and at least in boot camp when you're naked with dudes, they're like kind of your age. Most of them are your age. And it's like, cool. All right, I just got out of high school.
That's a good point. I hadn't really,
There's some old guys in there. Like we had some old guys from Puerto Rico.
Very few though,
to get their, green cards, which was cool. And they were very nice.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. So I kind of get upset when I hear people beating that drum about like,
dude, the military's a melting pot.
I'm like, who do you think your military is? The same veterans you like beat the drum and wave the flag for, and they're like, get them out of here. And I'm like, half of the Army, not half, but I mean, there were a lot of Hispanic and Muslim and all sorts of people that were serving in the United States Army to, for citizenship.
But like you're with an age group that's close, at least.
Yes.
Close. You're at least 18 to roughly 24, probably.
Most likely, especially if you're enlisted boot camp.
And at boot camp, I do think we had stalls for shitting. So fast forward to going to Fort McCoy, Wisconsin with an Army Reserve unit. And I love my Army Reserves. But not everybody in the reserves is a strapping bill of health.
No. Anytime National Guard reserves, like your first sergeant may be a guy who 28 days out of the month runs a dog food plant in West Frankfort, Illinois.
Right.
And they're not always.
And then once a year works out for 2 weeks to barely pass
to
their
make
PT
tape.
test.
That's correct.
Right. So
a lot of uncle bodies in the National Guard and reserves.
What's that?
A lot of uncle bodies.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
All bodies are beautiful, but it is alarming.
A lot of size 42 BDUs.
Yeah.
Remember that term?
Oh, yeah.
Battle dress uniforms.
BDU.
And you need to wear that shit to protect West Frankfort.
We're going to put a little crown up. BDU.
And then you can wear that shit deer hunting.
Yeah, you can.
Make it right. But so when I went with this reserve unit up to Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, which is another terrible body part, yet to be named. So these were World War II barracks, Rafe. The shotgun ones with 2 floors.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the first thing I saw when I went in with first platoon, whatever platoon I was in first and whatever, off to my right was the bathroom. And I saw those old white World War II, toilets. I'm like, oh no. And back then even, this is before cell phones, so at least now I think if you're shitting in a room with 6 guys, you have the comfort of your phone and your screen to keep looking straight.
Yeah.
Then There was none of that. To your point, you said newspaper or magazine. I was reading my Spin magazines, keeping up with the world, the music
Maxim.
world, and Maxim magazines, those things. But then, yeah, the next morning, I'm sitting next to a 61-year-old Army reservist who's really hairy, and he's taking his morning glory, and that is something that will affect you.
That's a dad shit, brother.
It's a dad shit.
We've all smelled a dad shit. We've all been in the bathroom.
You can always escape it. You just, oh shit, shut the door.
Right.
Well,
I mean, my dad would come in and shit while I was in the shower, which I always thought was a rare form of torture for a child.
Do that to my kids.
We only had one bathroom, and like it was the toilet faced the bathtub, and I would be showering, and if I saw the shower curtain move because my dad's knees hit it, I knew it was to be about a hot, steamy, stinky mess in there. And quite frankly, that's child abuse, in my opinion. DCFS, if you would like to do some sort of internal review this is probably like 1989 through 1993. If you'd like to do some ex post facto, make things right.
It's statute limited. He's off the hook.
Yeah,
right
I feel
now.
like he's off the hook.
Yeah, he's off the hook. But yeah, that was a thing, man. That was something new for me. I got used to it. I'm glad I experienced it.
Well,
because one, I can shit anywhere I want now and not be worried about it at all. And two, if somebody does it next to me, I'm like, that's fine.
Same. I was a home pooper.
Okay.
And then you just get over it. There's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
You just have to get used to. And there's a lot of stuff like that in the military. And when you first go to boot camp, another thing that people don't know is, as a man, I was in a combat unit. I was a 13 Bravo, which is an artilleryman. Mm-hmm. And you were, what was your actual?
88 Mike, good old truck driver. And the reason being is because I'm not a good tester.
Big truck?
Yeah. Semi-truck.
5 tons.
Like that.
Okay, semis.
Semis, yeah. Or whatever, 5 tons, deuce and a half.
I learned to drive the 5 tons and because we had to pull, we were doing the artillery.
Yeah, you would put the stuff in the back of the deuce and a half and then.
The gun was on there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't mechanized. So the gun was just like a cannon on wheels that we had to dig.
Yeah, exactly.
But I couldn't back up a trailer.
Oh.
So if I didn't pull in straight on the gun line and they're like, back it up, I'm like, I'm going around. I just drive around the whole gun. I'm like, pull me in straight on the survey tape or I'm fucking going around again.
I love backing trailers.
I still to this day can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's a thing as a man. It hurts me.
It hurts you.
I can't really use a backup camera on a fucking car. Like I had a 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Was that your nickname at that point?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm going around we're trying to make time here, bud.
I was a truck driver literally like, what'd you pick that? I was like, because I did so terribly on my ASVAB test.
Yeah.
The ASVAB test for you non-military people is the test you take. It's essentially your what do they call that in high school? The thing you take your SAT or ACT, whatever state.
Not nearly as hard, by the way.
Come on, man. I'm getting ready to see how bad I did on this test. But I think before I took the test, I'm like telling my buddies, I'm going to join the military. I'm going to do like PSYOPs. Yeah. I'm going to do all this cool shit. I took that test and got a 68 out of 100.
Damn.
This is bad. So I was like, well, can I? And I was like, can I do PSYOPs? Like, you needed a 90 or above. I was like, okay, what's left? And he's like, you want to be a cook or a truck driver? I said, truck driver. I know how to drive trucks.
And I'm going to tell you something. The cooks they don't get the credit they deserve.
They don't.
They're good. They're important. Our cook, we had a cook that had like a weird eye.
They have to.
His name was Hefner.
That's the only thing. You got to be shitty at tests and have messed up eyes.
And I remember we went through the line and he'd be like, you want some gravy on that, buddy? You want some gravy on that, buddy? That was like, and it became the thing we'd always say. You want some gravy on that, buddy?
Every meal had gravy.
Yeah. Well, and to put that in perspective for you guys, the ASVAB is like the ACT for kids who, when their dad played Upsy Daisy with them, their head got hit in the ceiling fans.
Right.
Like the Hampton Bay head kids.
Yeah.
If you got a Hampton Bay head dent in your head, the ASVAB was your ACT.
Yeah.
And 68 isn't great, but you're not a good test taker because you are a sharp guy. I respect you.
Yes. No, even now I could not do, I never was good at them. It's a thing.
It is a thing, and I think there's a lot of really talented people out there who get fucked by the way we administer tests.
Pregnancy tests.
Nice. Blow, blow.
Like
this guy fucks. In case you didn't know, what was it? 30 Mike?
What's that?
What was your MOS?
88 Mike.
88 Mike's fuck.
Oh, yeah.
13 B's fuck. And that's the funny thing about being like...
And unlike Rafe, he doesn't have to pull out and go around. We just leave it in there.
Yeah.
We get it in right the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can't flip a woman over doggy style, if I'm like, I'm going around and I just walk around the bed and she has to do it herself.
88 Mike, stay.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you learn in boot camp, no matter what your MOS, because when I went, it was all dudes.
Right.
Like there wasn't any cross training going on yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how Fort Sill was. There was only a couple of camps. We had girls, but they were like in their own area.
Right. So it's all dudes, relatively around your age. But you find out also, because of the lack of privacy, very quickly, through the law of statistics, where you actually are on the penis size scale. And I want to tell you,
I was hoping you'd go there.
It was alarming. Yes. I did as poorly on that as you did on your ASVAB.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think I got a 68. I think I was probably maybe a 53 at best, and I'm being generous.
I'm cool with that. Did you ever see a 100?
I saw a 100.
I saw 100.
Yeah. Let's talk
about it. And I didn't know if we were going to go there with this, because
we are going to go
about this 3 minutes ago, and I was like, I better not say that.
No, this ain't the Rizz Show. This is the Rizz Show After Hours.
Yeah. And his name,
let's hear it.
His last name was Jackson.
Hell
He was from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And he was probably like 6 foot tall, like a strapping dude, strapping African American man.
Yep.
And I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
And it was soapy.
Okay.
Because we had just gotten back in from the field.
Okay.
And what happened was I
was hoping this was in the shower and he just wasn't soaping his dong like in a truck.
We've all showered. We're 3 or 4 weeks in. I've showered with this guy.
My voice.
But just the angle, or like, then it just happened to be him and I. And when I was washing my hair and got the soap out of my eyes, when I opened my eyes, he had his back in the water and was still soaping the front. And and then he said to me, "You've never seen anything like that." I said, "No."
So he was aware of his prowess.
And I never said another word, but I'm pretty sure telekinetically, I was like, "Nice dude."
Yeah.
And I mean this platonically, that is nice.
Yeah.
And
you gotta appreciate
know what to do with that.
Listen, man, you got to appreciate if someone pulls a nice bat out of their bag in the dugout, you can say that's a nice Easton. You know?
I didn't say it. I think I just...
That's a Louisville slugger. We can all get behind.
And I didn't feel inferior.
Oh.
And not because of me. I just was so impressed. You know how when you just... Something good happens to your friend?
Yeah.
And you're really just genuinely happy for him.
That's nice of you.
I was just happy for him. He didn't care about me.
I like that he said that
my
to you.
Size. I was just like, good for you.
And he made you feel comfortable by being like, hey.
He called me. I was like, you never seen anything like that, have you? I was like, no.
Never seen nothing like that before, have you?
And I looked more. The rest of I had 5 weeks left in boot camp. I looked again.
Well, the fact that he didn't have a problem with it. Mine was a little...
I didn't really let him see me looking at it.
Okay.
But I would do the...
Yeah. Out of appreciation.
Beautiful.
Which I think is like very comforting. You got to be comfortable with your sexuality. I had a similar situation. I saw a 100. His name was Anderson.
Okay.
Also, we're not saying this is a coincidence. Also an African-American man. Also from the South. So maybe there's something to be said for that region. I don't know. I'm not trying to make any kind of groupings.
Better groundwater.
But I saw his because we didn't have hot water at the barracks at Fort Sill, and we were there in January. We were there in January, and it fucking sucked. Like there'd be enough hot water for the first group of guys. Probably like
the first running group.
First running group.
I was
whoever got back first.
Yeah,
it was never. It was the only thing I couldn't. How'd you do on your PT test?
300. Actually, I got 310 one time.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, that makes up for the ASVAB.
Yeah. That's right.
294, 296 was the highest I ever could never max the run out.
Nope.
And I tried every way.
Yeah.
So when you're in the military, and we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to talk about the PT test here in a second. I want to talk about Anderson's dick.
Yeah, let's finish the dick stuff.
So I saw the biggest dick I've ever seen, the nicest schwanz maybe on earth.
Soapy?
Sort of, because it was so cold that people had resorted to the whore bath.
Oh, yeah.
If it was super duper cold. And so he had a towel on and was kind of just like washing his pits and kind of like taking like baby wipes and cleaning up. And he took his towel off and he laid his dick in the sink. And it was so big
You can wash it.
Dude, it went down the whole sink basin and the tip touched the drain.
They had a little silver drain.
And I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. And I was like, you're sitting there, I got shaving cream on. I was like, Kevin McAllister, like, oh, like straight up, couldn't contain it,
Dude, they're
and I just look over and I'm like, you're trying not to meat gaze too much, but it's just like, he's right next to me and his dick is in the sink. And it was so long that I was jealous of, it looked like he had a whetstone and he was sharpening a knife. Do you know what I mean? Like he was going down it. It had enough heft and weight that he had to it was like whittling wood. Whereas, if I'm scrubbing up, and
it's winter.
It's very contained, especially in wintertime. It's contained.
Yeah.
And
think about how many times.
And he was the top of the food chain, as was Jackson, I'm sure.
But think about that particular sink. I'm sure there was probably 4, 6, 7, 8 sinks right there.
Oh yeah.
When you're done brushing your teeth and you turn the water, get yourself some water.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, but you probably did. But now you're like, this dude's cleaning his dick there.
That game was over,
which is fine too. That gets me back to that. Doesn't bother me. I could still just put my mouth there and get some water in it to get the toothpaste out. The military broke me of all weird.
Yeah, you kind of get over it.
I took some weird to them, actually.
Really?
I've had several people the way I think you know me by now, the way I joke, the things I say, like, hey, did you get this way because of, the Army? I was like, brother, I went in this way.
I wish. Yeah.
I could not pin this on Uncle Sam.
Same.
I was fucked up when I went in.
But steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
The Army will sharpen that dark sense of humor.
And when it got time for it didn't happen near as much in basic because you're under such a spotlight. But when it got time to being deployed, the jokes and the pranks, that's when that shit starts happening. And I was made for it.
Nice.
Completely made for that shit.
All right, let's get into that when we get back. Let's take a quick break for word from our sponsors. We'll get into it right when we get back. Okay, we're back. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Lexus, the Bill Clinton Foundation, Elon Musk, Dolly Parton.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah, they just signed on. They heard that first segment. They signed on. Jerry Seinfeld
signed on too.
Magnum condoms, yes. Unfortunately, they did not. They're just asking us to be references to Jackson
and Anderson.
Would you like
some examples? We're like, no. No gift baskets needed at this.
No, we're good.
Not for those.
They need a regular size guy condom that sounds cool.
It sounds, after that last segment, that we could get away with a Hershey Kiss wrapper. Without the paper.
Hey, don't throw that single-use Twix wrapper, Twizzler wrapper away.
And you could do green, I could do red, and we could do the Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thing. So before we went on break, you were talking about pranks in the Army.
Yeah.
And that's because here's the thing. I enjoyed my time in the Army.
Okay.
Uncle Sam is the weird uncle you don't leave the kids around at Thanksgiving. Like, if you owe him money, he'll find you. But when he owes you money, it's a lot tougher, which is why I like what you do with Songs4Soldiers. Sure. Like, you help guys out. Because even my brother's on full disability.
Sure.
He had a TBI in Iraq.
Right.
He has a hard time. His shoelace can come untied. It's over. That day's shot. Like, he just, it just depends on the day.
Right.
And when we had to get him disability, man, I had to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
It's like you have to jump through those hoops. But, a lot of times, you go in the Army, they show you the brochure.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to be fucking, this obstacle course with a zip line.
Yeah,
where you're zip lining over the
Ranger footage.
Yeah. But you don't go to Army Ranger School. You go to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where the day we were supposed to do the obstacle course,
snowed.
I wish that it was, they just straight up told us, hey, this thing's too dangerous to put you guys on it. It's in such disrepair.
Oh.
So it was like the one day, and that's the thing. It seems like you're going to be doing these things every day.
No.
You go do the obstacle course one day.
Yeah.
Basic rifleman training, 3 days.
Yeah.
And when we went to BRM, which is basic rifle marksmanship, it'd be like all the country guys like us would be shooting real good.
Yeah, that's true.
A qualified expert hit I think it's 38 out of 40 or something like that.
I think 36 out of 40. But either way, it's really good.
I shot really well. I was an expert, and all the country guys shot really well, so we were done day one. And then we had a lot of city guys who never had handled a rifle.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit shit, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And every platoon had one guy. We had a guy named Carter. His name was Brian Carter.
Okay.
He'd shoot through an ink pen on driver's training until he had like ink running out of his mouth.
Just to go back, where was he on the dick scale?
He's probably doing pretty good.
Okay.
He was from Sauk Village, Illinois.
Some of that dumb dick.
Yeah, some of that dumbass dick. And some of that dumbass dick grows big because there's no blood in the brain.
And the dumb dick guys are pretty good in combat.
Yeah, I wouldn't want this guy anywhere near me in combat. Only because, to put it in perspective, we were doing rifle training, and an M16 has a charging handle that you have to push in or it will hit you in the face.
100%.
You just, when you lock and load, you got to push this little T-shaped thing back in. Yeah. It's a lesson you should only have to learn once.
Yeah.
Well, Brain Carter, this is the same guy that asked me way before dick pics were a thing. He's like, hey, man, you ever take a Polaroid picture of your dick?
Oh.
And hide it in the library books for people to find? I'm like,
I've never heard that sentence.
Nah, Doug, I haven't done that.
It's kind of a good idea.
Yeah. And I'm like, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like, whoa.
My high school kid's going to see this podcast and do that.
Don't do that, high school kids.
Don't do it, Charlie. Oh, your son.
Uncle Rafe doesn't want you to. Yeah, I love that kid. Yeah. He's a good kid. I'm glad to be his dad. But he was just a weird dude. He was a nice guy, but he's just like nervous guy. And he like chewed through an ink pen at driving school, and they gave us our little things. And they're like, does anybody have any questions? And he raised his hand. He goes, my name's not Brain. They had inverted the I&A in Brian.
Okay.
And he was like perplexed by it. He goes, I don't think this is for me. And they're like, you're right, Carter. Your name's not Brain, for sure. That's so when we went to shoot our rifles, he had kept forgetting to put the charging handle in. Couldn't hit nothing, man. It was just hit, and his mouth was just band-aided up, just sutured up. He'd been hitting himself. And finally, like on day 3, Drill Sergeant Lane goes, Williams, put on Carter's blouse. What for? He goes, trade him blouses, shut up. So we traded, and he's like, you're going to shoot for him. And they did it with like 6 guys where they went and got all of us.
These guys did they get the good score, or did they just?
Well, he said sandbag it a little bit. He goes, don't shoot him expert. He's like, just get him marksman and get him out of here. So,
guy through.
So there's like 6 guys in our unit that couldn't hit the target like 25. I think it's like 25 to qualify or something like that. And, stuff like that happens in the Army. It used to happen in the Army. This was a long time ago. I'm sure it's a much better operation
Nobody's gotten smarter.
But you fill the time with pranks. And like the day we went to do, same thing, not in the brochure. Like the day we went to do the obstacle course, they're like, obstacle course is actually super dangerous to put you guys on. So here's what we're going to do, boys. We're going to rake leaves in the forest all day. So we spent 7 hours raking leaves, putting them in big black trash bags, made a big pyramid.
In the woods.
And we spent the 8th hour dumping all those leaves back out. And that might have been the most valuable lesson of what real life in the civilian military is like when you get out.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 90% boredom and 10% absolute terror if you're deployed and you're a combat veteran. So you get good at pranking and killing time.
Yeah.
Which is where we're going to go to. Tell me about the pranks.
Well, this was the best thing that I don't know if you would call this a prank, but then
whatever.
Just like
your sense of humor.
This was still actually a boot camp story. And every boot camp, just like every high school grade or every grade of school or of every group that exists in every group of humans, there's always that one bitch that you hate.
Oh, yeah.
That just narcs on you. That tells the teacher everything or tells drill sergeant everything. And it's got
they're usually the XO.
They're probably played.
They're a fucking narc.
Saxophone in band.
Oh, yeah.
Like
not even saxophone. Piccolo.
Something. Clarinet.
There you go.
There. Anyways, this dude. So as I mentioned before, I was in the #1 running group. So for if you're fast, you get to go out. You run the farthest and fastest.
Yeah.
But you do get back first, and you get a little hot water. B group, C group, whatever. Right. So
I was started in the C group.
Got up to B.
Okay. Never cracked A. Never got a runner's high.
Yeah.
You get it?
I still do.
I'm so jealous of people when people are like, the 10-mile mark, the endorphins really take it. I'm like, no, they fucking don't for me. My brain does not. It was misery, side cramp. In the military, there's the peer pressure when you run. I've never ran as good out of the military as I did in the military just because I didn't want to look weak.
And you're with other people.
And there's people keeping pace. And if you fall out, everybody gets in trouble. There's because when you take the PT test for people that weren't in the military, we'll give you a quick background. You do push-ups, which
it's different now. I just heard the format the other day, which actually makes way more sense now. But when we were in, it was 2-mile run, as many push-ups in 2 minutes and as many sit-ups in 2 minutes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you had, I think, 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes maxed you out. And I want to say
was it
90 push-ups or something?
Maybe 100. Yeah.
Maybe 100, but whatever it was, good there.
Yeah.
I maxed those out every time. Yeah. Dude, I tried every, you're just fleet of foot. You look like you can run. Yes. You look fast.
I lucked out.
I tried, me and this other kid couldn't max it out. And we tried everything. Yeah. I tried the sprint and puke, where I would take the PT test where I'm like, I'm going to run as hard as I fucking can until I throw up. And I'm just going to sprint this thing out just to pass the PT test. And we had a ex-Army Ranger drill sergeant who was like a fucking deer and he could run.
Yeah.
He ran in fatigues.
Drill Sergeant Smith.
Drill Sergeant Robertson ran in fatigues and he was running it was, because to max it out, what was it, 12?
12. That's when I got my 310 because
was it 12 flat?
I think it was 12 flat. And I remember I got bonus points.
Being under
off the run somehow. Yeah, me and this dude. And I used to run track and I used to run marathons in my early 20s. I'm a runner. But
you still work out hard. Yes. I see photos. You're doing CrossFit shit.
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
Psychopath.
But I had a dude that was wheeling and dealing, and I was so fortunate to have it. In the A group, we were always, and we both clocked in. We ran essentially 2 5.5 minute miles.
Okay.
And it just got just over 11. And somehow I got 10 points out of that. I can't remember how that happened. Or maybe I got the 10 points out of the push. I don't know. But
either way,
I won 310.
I'm jealous. Never got a 300. Never got the perfect score. It still didn't matter. If you got above a 280, you were a PT stud.
Yeah.
And the drill sergeants usually doted on you. Which I liked. My drill sergeant actually liked me.
Yeah.
One. But the other one did not.
Okay.
He called me Private Fraulein because I don't have a lot of hair on my legs, and that hurt my feelings. I'm an Italian guy with no hair because of inbreeding, I assume. And if he caught me anywhere, I was getting smoked.
Oh, West Frankfort makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm right north of that, so I probably got a little in me too. But I have arm hair. Anyways, the reason why I brought the A group, C group, so, in boot camp, they make you do this stupid shit. The first 3 or 4 weeks, you got to get up and do fire guard. Yeah. Stand at the end of the hallway, put all your shit on, and protect the hall. It's just dumb shit. And that's part of it. They're shaping you, whatever. Well,
just to make sure you don't get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's to make sure you have to wake up,
right?
Do some bullshit for an hour, put your clothes on, stay awake.
Yeah. Right.
And then wake another dude up and go back to bed.
But we
did CQ too, which is the same thing. So sometimes.
Okay. Maybe that's what
you'd have to go down. Fire guard was in CQ. The barracks. CQ, you'd have to get in your fatigues and go down and guard an office that no one was in.
Yes, that's right. CQ, I forgot about that term. Anyways, we were probably halfway through basic. And at this point, you start kind of forming, you can start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe me and drill sergeant would be cool. If you're doing good, you start to see, oh, man, this guy's all right. You see it. So drill sergeant comes out. And if you remember, and this was the case in Iraq as well, anything to do to feel normal feels good, right?
Yeah.
So drill sergeant comes out and says, yo, hey, go detail my Jeep. And he had his little carrying kit of cleaning tools. That sounds wonderful, actually, instead of standing here by the drinking fountain. Right?
Yeah.
Went out there, worked on his Jeep, cleaned it down, did all the interior shit, whatever. Well, we're all, high school kids in the early 2000s. We all smoked cigarettes. So we hadn't had a cigarette in 4 weeks. We all had quit. Drill sergeant chewed, had dip. He had a lot of it in there. We can make this can look like none was taken and all get a pinch. Well, we had that bitch with us. Can't remember his name, but we had the guy with us.
The fucking narc. Back to the narc. There's always one little shithead
group running narc
there's always a little shithead in every group.
Yep.
Who usually gets tuned up. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not proud of it. But yes, there's always one little bitch who thinks like sucking up to the drill sergeant is just being like a little narc and a rat.
That's where this story is going. So the rest of us guys, I'm pretty sure we were A group runners. If I remember correctly, like 4 of us. And there's 3 of us plus him. He obviously told drill sergeant. Next day, early the next morning, man, we just get rolled. There was a big mulch pit behind our barracks. And just go roll from that side all the way across the other side, called the wash and spin. You just start puking. It was terrible.
Yeah. So
we get rolled. Instead of running, we get rolled. However, we are back before everybody. And my buddy shit in his boot. We knew who told on him. So he took his fat morning shit in his boot. And you know what a turd out of water is like. It's not good. Your dad shit in the at least that hit water. A turd out of water sucks.
Dude, that's that's a very wise little idiom. A turd out of water sucks.
Turd out of water sucks.
And that's kind of a metaphor for who the little narc is. He's a turd out of water.
As B and C group get back, everybody's kind of like, who keeps fucking shit in their pants? Who's farting? We 3 of us knew what had happened. This dude gets out of his shower, puts his boot on, right into a fucking turd. He runs straight to drill sergeant's office. Drill sergeant, Row, and one of those guys shit in my boot. He goes, that's what you get for being a fucking narc.
Yeah, they hate him too.
And I was like, whoa. They hate him. They hated him way more than they hated us for taking a couple pinches of skull. Yeah. Right? And that dude got lit the fuck up. And we were going out to a range or an obstacle course or something. Yeah. Unlike you, I was at Fort Leonard Wood in the summertime. That's like St. Louis. It's hot. It's like still.
Yeah, that's where my son went.
So we had to go. The way they get you from the barracks there way out to the range was either road marching or you get in cattle trailers. Like the same shit they put dairy cows in. And dude, he had to wear that boot all day. And we had to deal with it, but it was so worth it. Oh, and it was better.
I didn't think about that. He didn't get to change.
Seeing him have to deal with that was better than any punch to the face that guy could have gotten.
Yeah.
But that's also where I was like, Joe Sargent's fucking rad.
Yeah.
He's cool.
That's where you find out they're people. Because at first,
was a direct shot.
That was a direct shot, but that is a prank in the Army. I mean, and
it was funny and smelly.
That's great.
Yeah.
We had a XO, a little short king who was a pain in the ass, who was a narc and a tattletale. And they, for some reason, they always get made the XO, which is like the supply guy, or like the kind of like they're like the accountant of the platoon. And there's a reason for that. If you were that guy, you were probably a little fucking narc.
Yeah.
And I think it was the drill sergeant's way of identifying that person for everybody. Being like, Percy's going to be the XO. He's going to be keeping tabs. He's like the fucking Hoppin' Bob in the movie Life.
Yeah.
This here Hoppin' Bob.
Yeah.
You run afoul to Bob, you run afoul to me. And I'm like, he's the fucking narc.
You were not wrong.
So I don't remember how it came to pass, but I'll give you the short version of the similar story. We'd done like some pillow parties.
Yeah.
Not soap parties like Full Metal Jacket, but we had done something where like this one guy was so angry, he wouldn't do anything he was told, and he like tried to put bed knobs in a sock and fight everybody. And we're like, all right, we got to tune this guy up.
Yeah.
And we took our pillows and we twisted them as tight as you could get them. So they had a little.
Yeah.
And then somebody got under the bed and we just basically hit this guy with pillows.
Yeah.
And pretty low violence, 2 on the violence scale.
Warning shot.
Yeah. Well, one of the pillows busted. So there was a trail of feathers going back to one guy's bed because they're like, who did it? We're like, we don't know, man.
Yeah.
And so my buddy, like, back to his bed, it literally like a cartoonish amount of feathers, like led right from one bed to the other. So he got in trouble. Well, this dude narked us all out. He's like, I saw who did it. Like, well, the drill sergeant was like, yeah, this needed to get done, you know, but so that happened. And then you would get kitchen patrol when you're in a platoon. And what that means is you got to go work in a fucking kitchen all day. And it sucks because it's a kitchen. You're feeding the whole barrack. You're feeding thousands of people. So it's hot. You're washing pots and pans. It's like, it's begrudging, endless work. And I was the squad leader of my squad. We had already done it. He was the squad leader of the second squad. It was their turn. The night before, I look on the bulletin board in the XO because he schedules all that shit. Yeah. And we were on it again. It was our second time. No one else had done it. And I go, hey, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing it again. It sucks. And he's like, and it was after lights out. And he goes, well, if you want it changed, you're going to have to rip that bulletin board off the wall and bring it to my bed. And I said, stay right where you're at. And I ripped the bulletin board off the wall like a fucking psychopath. It was like a dry erase board. And I took it to his bed. I go, no, fucking change it. He's like, woo, and he changed it. And then I was like, fuck, now that I ripped this thing off the wall. Yeah. And it had bolts in it, and like and to the credit, like everyone hated this dude. So everyone was helping me like put it back on. We got it back on. We're like, cool. Yeah. It's up. It's on. Great. We get up in the morning. We go run, do our shit. He's on, what do they call it when you're hurt? Profile? Yeah. He's on profile.
Forgot about that.
And if you got hurt, you can go to the doctor and say you got your feet hurt or you got your back hurt. And a lot of guys sandbag that way. And he was on profile, so he wasn't running. So he was back at the barracks by himself.
Big case of pussitis.
Yeah. And sometimes people get hurt. He's like, I got shin splints. I'm like, you don't have no shins, you little short bitch. Anyway, we get back. He switched it. We're on KP. So we shout, and the drill sergeant's hollering it out. And I'm like, you motherfucker. He went back up there and changed it back.
Yeah.
So we go to KP. We're in the middle of washing pots and pans, dude. And I just hear Drill Sergeant Lang, who was like our main guy, screaming my name through the cafeteria. Like everybody hears it. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
He comes into the kitchen and he's like, Williams, you ripped my fucking board off the wall? And I go, huh? And he goes, did you rip my fucking board off the wall? And I was like, yes, Drill Sergeant, I did rip your board off the wall. Yeah. And he goes, you're coming with me. And he pulls me out. And it turns out like I guess they had like done something and they were doing like an instructional in the barracks of how to put a fuse on and take a fuse off of a live round. And he was using the whiteboard and he was like pointing to it with the marker. And when he hit it, it fell off the wall and shattered into a million pieces.
Oh, shit.
And he looked behind it and he could see the bolts.
We're rigged up.
And he goes, the fuck happened to this whiteboard? When you guys knock it off? And that guy told on me.
Oh, okay.
And they said that guy raised his hand and he was like, Williams did it.
Yeah.
So he comes in and gets me and he goes, get in my truck. And we had the hill. Instead of getting rolled, you'd go to the hill and they'd run you up and down the hill until you threw up.
Okay.
It's like, you're going to the hill. So I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm about to get murdered.
Yeah.
Like he's taking me in his personal vehicle to punish me. This wasn't
the air conditioning on?
This wasn't a military vehicle. This was, he put me in a Ford F-150.
I was going to say Ford Ranger.
And I was like, yeah, it might have been a Ranger now that because that's what every guy in the Army buys, a truck and a motorcycle. Takes me, I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm totally fucked. And he takes me to his house. He was like off that day.
Yeah.
And he goes, get upstairs, go up, come on. And I go upstairs.
Started to get kinky here.
Well, it was like an apartment.
Okay.
And he goes, I'm going to take a nap. And he goes, watch whatever you want on TV. And he gave me a Dr. Pepper. And he goes, anybody asks you, I took you to the hill and I smoked you so bad that you want to kill yourself. And he goes, don't ever fucking tell anybody. And he goes, I hate that fucking little narc. And he goes, the fact that he narked on you for what you did. And he goes, he sucks.
You probably heard the full story by then, why you ripped it off the wall.
Yeah. He did. And he's like, I got the full story from somebody else about what happened. And he goes, I noticed you guys are on KP twice.
Yeah.
He goes, you shouldn't have done what you did, but fuck that guy. Yep. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I watched cartoons.
He's human.
I hadn't seen TV in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like watching Tom and Jerry drinking a Dr. I felt like a little kid.
Fuck.
I was so pumped.
Yep.
So he drives me back up and he's like, you make a show of it. And he goes, you better go in there and act like I've ruined your fucking days. If I even think that they know I didn't smoke you, I will. It'll be 2 times. He's still being a dick.
Yeah.
And then the cherry on top was later that night, fire guard, the call back. He goes, you got fire guard tonight? I go, yeah. And he goes, I'll leave my locker unlocked, go into drill sergeant's office, get in my locker, look on the top shelf. And I got fire guard, and I went in his office and opened it up, and there's like 3 dirty magazines.
All right.
And they were the dirtiest. They were like Cherry magazine and all this stuff. And that's when I realized, I go, oh, the drill sergeants do have favorite. They do.
Yeah.
He liked me.
They do.
And then at the end of boot camp, you get when the families come, you get to do like family night.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Oh yeah.
And you get a chance. I did a lot of impersonations of like, I knew pranks.
Yeah,
I would do like impersonations of the drill sergeants.
Sure.
That was kind of my comedic thing.
Sure.
To the point that some drill sergeants would ask me to do it. They'd be like, hey, do Stevenson. I'd be like, God damn it, Potts.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck your eyeballs out your head, put my fingers up your nose, and drag you all around the drill pad. And then they'd be like, they'd love it. Like, do Drill Sergeant Lester, do Lester.
Yeah.
So at the end of boot camp, they called me up to do all the drill sergeants.
Oh, man.
And I did them all. And my drill sergeant, Lang, the one that was cool to me, he'd fart all the time, dude. This guy was he was like one of those guys that like no wonder he was doing. He'd be like in the middle of giving instructions, like, Mah.
Yeah.
Just an open farter, loud farting guy.
Like a dad farting guy.
And that was a big part of my impression of him. And he was last. And I did everybody else. And I see him out in the audience, like laughing his ass off. And that was when I knew I was at a comedic crossroads.
Yeah.
Do I protect this guy who was cool to me, who was like I looked up to?
Yeah.
Or do I sell him out for the bit?
Yeah.
And I sold him the fuck out. And I went out there and was just like, you like Stabbing Westward, Private? Because he was always trying to sell everyone on the band Stabbing Westward. Love this band. And then I'd be like, I was like doing everything, and I was just like ripping big farts into the microphone.
Yeah.
I could see him in the back of the room. And after we were done, because, you say goodbye. Well, no, like afterwards. And then like, you get to say goodbye to all of them because your family's there. You're done. You're walking the next day. And I was like, I was saying bye to all the drill sergeants and stuff. And I went to say goodbye to him, and I could tell his feelings were hurt. It was fun. It was a funny thing. I'm like, this guy's been torturing me because I did OSIT, which meant one station unit training. So we had the same drill sergeants all through AIT. It sucked. They treated us like shit for a long time. And I could tell that he was like, I go, Drill Sergeant Lang, it's been an honor, man. You were a great drill sergeant. And he's just like, yeah. Didn't seem like I was that great when you're up there just now. I was like, dude, it felt like a friend whose heart I broke because I I was like making fun of him farting in front of everybody's parents and everything. And it was just a funny moment for me when I go, hey, bud, there's no vanity in comedy, Drill Sergeant Lang. And I was like, I just felt like I sold the guy. I felt kind of bad about it, like I sold this dude out.
I bet he remembers it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that dude, that's...
So when you get back to your unit, when you started doing reserves, where were you at?
There was a transportation unit in Belleville, Illinois that I jumped into. And then that's about the time that March 03 is when they started, early winter of 03 is when they were talking about invading Iraq and all that shit. And so I got pulled out of that unit, put with the unit out of Michigan. 3 of us guys from St. Louis went to this. That's when I went to those bad barracks with the World War II, the old guys pooping. So, but then we just trained for I can't remember how long it was. It was like 5 or 6 months, and they didn't need us. Then the invasion had already happened, and they were in there for like 3 months. And we're just.
That was this first or second Gulf War?
Second.
Okay.
2000. This is March 2003.
Okay.
So they invade Iraq, all this, and we're just like in Wisconsin, kind of. Like we would do a formation once a day and then do whatever we wanted. It was over.
And you joined in 01?
June 2001. I was a junior in high school.
So you joined pre 9/11?
3 months before, as a junior in high school. So my whole senior year, I knew I'd already signed my contract. So fast forward to September 2011.
Okay.
September 11th, 2001. I was just sitting in government class, had already signed a contract.
What a strange experience that was. Because you're a young kid.
Yeah, dude. And I tell you what,
and your ass is puckered because you're like, oh, we're going to war with somebody over this.
I had the deepest of deep premonitions when that was happening. It's like, I'm going to get involved in some shit.
Yeah.
And it happened. I just had this feeling.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And I was
that's a very unique kid. I mean, that's like a shared experience every American has, but that's a very unique perspective to be a 16-year-old kid who's already signed a contract.
I also felt proud. Totally proud.
I'm sure. Yeah. Dude, that was peak American pride.
Yeah. Post World War II.
That post, yes, that was post Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
The post 9/11 world was the last time this country was united.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it takes a tragedy like that
It always
to
does.
get that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So you're sitting there, you're in, it's 03, you're in Michigan.
Yeah. And then they did like, oh, we're going to send you all home. Remobilize. I was like, okay. So I came back here to St. Louis. And, I was in between college times where you could be going to school. I was like, shit. So I went and mowed yards for a living for True Green Camelot. And about that time, phone rang again. They're like, hey, you're getting deployed with a unit out of Central Illinois. I'm like, okay. I should have just joined 4 years of active duty at this point, right? I'm like, why? Damn it. And just come home, leave. That time, though, I definitely, I think I was gone for probably a total of 15, 16 months. Time in Iraq was right at 12 months, like February 04 to February 05. So, yeah, that's when they actually sent us. So,
and you converted from truck driver.
Mm-hmm. They Americans.
What did you do while you were deployed?
So instead of driving trucks, they retrained us to be convoy security. So basically, what that meant was just how to protect a convoy, how to get a convoy out of a combat zone once you're getting attacked. Then we also had to learn heavy weaponry. So 50 cal, Mark 19s, 240 Bravos, the newer version of the M60s. And so we were, Humvees and.
What was the new version of the 60?
240 Bravo.
Yeah, we just got those when I was.
Yeah,
I always had to carry those because I was the biggest guy.
The 240 Bravos were sweet. I think my first cruiser.
You got to dig in.
Was a 260 in Iraq. I'm pretty sure we had 260s to start, and then we learned the 240s over there.
Yeah,
and it was awesome because you went from having like 29 pieces of gun to clean and put back together to like 4. Yeah. So, that's what we did.
I always had to you had to dig a waist deep fighting position when you had the 60, which sucked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because everybody else had to dig like the 2 foot deep where you could lay flat.
Every 4 Y lay flat positions, and you had to dig the deep asshole for the cruiser guys.
I was bumming. It was like January in Fort Sill.
In the woods. Like digging through that shit with E-tools.
So you were over there 04 to 05.
Yep.
Single deployment?
Yep.
And what unit were you actually with when you were there?
724th Transportation Unit out of Bartonville, Illinois. It's like Peoria area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caterpillar country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing they don't, a lot of people don't know about the Army that aren't in is like, no matter what you do, what are your MOS? I was a 13B. You were a
88 Mike.
88 Mike. Yeah. And you're always qualified to be infantry.
Yeah.
The minute you get out of boot camp, you're 11B qualified. You may not be the best of the best to continue. Like there are 11 Bravo infantry people that go on and train more, but you're qualified to go.
Yeah.
And they can always be downgraded or changed to
They'll just use you for whatever they need to use you for.
100%.
Yeah. So
your MOS isn't necessarily the only thing you'll do in the Army. I think a lot of people go in thinking that.
Right.
And when you tell people, you're like, oh, I was in surface to air missiles. And they're like, oh, so is that what you did? I'm like, no. I just went to Iraq and was on
convoys.
And and just went out on patrols.
Quick relief, quick reaction forces. Yeah. So that's what we did. And then when we got over there, American civilians, like truck drivers you would see at Wally's, were the ones driving the fuels. And we were a fuel transportation unit. So we escorted fuel convoys there, and they were driving like those, just like you see in Europe.
I'm seeing
the white Volvo cab over tractor trailers.
Yeah.
Just like you would see on TV in Dubai or whatever in these trucks. And so, but American civilians like named Kenny and, and these guys are like driving the trucks, but they can't have guns. So
I'm imagining the guy from Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes.
And like his Basset Hound 100%. Just driving trucks. That's awesome.
Yeah, they had names like Devil Dog, like their call signs. They had Motorola shit. And we had Singar's radios. But yeah, that's what we did. And our job, as you can imagine, and 30 miles northwest of Baghdad, rolling down the road with 20 fuel vehicles and 5 support vehicles, it's a pretty fat target.
Yeah.
And so we would just, when we would get attacked, we would just fight back and just get the fuck out of there. You hung around for it. You know what I mean? But then, we took our unit, we got fucked up. I'm bad. One day alone, we lost 2 guys. One was taken POW, the first ever POW of the war.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first POW of the...
First ever. His name is Matt Maupin from Batavia, Ohio. Cincinnati suburb, right?
Yeah.
And dude, we just got annihilated it was April 9th, 2004, Good Friday, at like noon. It's like a movie. And then, but then Krause and Goodrich got killed that day. I think it was 11 of the civilian truck drivers got killed. I was I was driving a bobtail, what do we call this? 953, 935, something like that. Bobtail truck. And we had a 50 cal mounted above me. So my buddy Craig was on a 50 cal. That was the 6th truck. No, it was the 8th truck. But then me and Craig, man, we were 1 out of 6 trucks out of 26 to make it through it. So we had
so 6 out of the 26 made it.
Yeah, 6 trucks. A lot, the last vehicle saved a lot of guys. Our assistant convoy commander picked up dudes that were, hunkered down, once their trucks quit moving. But basically, we were supposed to go one way to Baghdad airport. There's 2 ways to get there. You go through central city part, or you can go kind of around the outskirts of Baghdad, like through a suburb called Abu Ghraib, which is right by the Abu Ghraib prison.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember that scandal?
My brother was there.
The Abu Ghraib prison scandal had happened like 3 weeks before this, so it set the country on fire.
Oh yeah.
So the dude that emailed our convoy commander on his little computer in the Humvee accidentally only CC'd himself. So he sent the email to himself. Our convoy commander never got it. He was like, "Hey, take route Irish, not Irish. Don't take route Sword." But we never got it. And so when we drove down route Sword, we drove right in between like the 212 cavalry units, mechanized infantry, Bradleys, Abrams, like in a full-blown firefight with like 300 insurgents. I remember driving past before it started, before I even heard a shot fired. And they told us to take extra ammo. It was like, what's going on today? You know what I mean? And I remember seeing this dude stand up out of the turret of a M1 Abrams, which is our badass big tank.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at me like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, he didn't even like signal like, no. He was just like, and we just went right into that shit.
He was like, where are you guys going?
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. What a modern office problem.
Yeah.
That was so costly.
Yeah.
That's like something you're like, I CC'd myself on that email about the meeting this afternoon.
I've gone down some deep internet holes to find out, because obviously when that many people die, they investigate.
Sure.
The dude lived, he was from St. He's here.
Really?
Yeah. I was young when I did.
And I'm not trying to put it on him. I'm just saying that is such a crazy modern army problem.
I would almost, if there was ever a way to run into him or see him, like shit happens.
Yeah.
Really bad shit happens, but it happens. It wasn't intentional.
Sure.
But that's what happened, man. We got, so it was rough. And that was at the beginning of our tour. I mean, we got there in February, started running missions in March. This shit happened first part of April. And we still had another, 3/4 of the year to go.
Yeah.
And that's when both Fallujah offenses happened. Never stepped foot in Fallujah, but we escorted fuel convoys there because they needed fuel out the ass. You know what I mean? So we worked with the Marines all the time. But it was a heavy tour. It was pretty crazy. I was like,
that's a lot
I turned
to hear,
20
man.
over there.
Isn't that wild? And think about like how young you really are at 20.
Yeah. Well, my twins are going to be 15 in November. And to think that
5 years from
4 years from now, he would have a 240 Bravo in his hand shooting at people. I can't.
It's not even a fathomable thought.
I'll say this, though. He has recently been talking about I think Charlie's going to be definitely not a college kid. Which is fine. But he's
Air Force, man.
He's a hard worker. And he's like, I kind of want to do the Army. I was like, you should totally do it. In spite of all that, I would
get him in the Air Force, man.
I don't know, man.
Let him have those 3 hots in a cot.
Thank God my little white
all due respect, Army,
got out of Columbia.
Yeah.
And I love my hometown and I still live there.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful.
It does grow you up.
That even if I had not gone to combat, the fact that I got to go train and to get my bubble bursted.
Yeah.
Kids need that shit. And so I'm very grateful. And I would recommend to anybody, go in. Go in.
Yeah, I would never discourage military service. I almost feel like everyone should have to work a year in a restaurant and do a year in the military.
Yeah.
To become better people and more appreciative of the freedoms they have and how to treat people in public.
And to get some good glimpses. It's soapy dollars.
Oh, yeah. And also you just meet people. The only thing I didn't like, I did feel like the military, and whether it's intentional or not, it does take advantage of disadvantaged people.
Oh, dude.
Because it was either kids from the inner city or country cowpokes who didn't have college money, just trying to get out of their little shitty living situations.
Right.
And sometimes that's when I get mad at politicians, because I'm like, you're sending the poorest kids to die. Not everybody. We had a couple, like, there's one kid whose dad was a colonel and he just was going through, but the majority of everyone, it is you're taking advantage of, like, Pulaski, Tennessee, to downtown Baltimore. Kids are like, I had to get off the streets. Yeah. This guy's like, I had to get out of this town. It was like meth and an opiate crisis. And then
which is even more admirable.
It is.
That they made that human choice.
It is. And I wish that our leadership was more cautious about how they used that capital.
Yeah.
Would be what
I think by saying it that way, that is true, honest patriotism.
I think so too. Like, dude, I have no problem saying that.
There's no problem. The military exists to protect and all this, but respect them. Those are human beings.
Yeah.
Right? And one, you're risking their life, and two, you're asking them to take others.
Yeah.
It's a fucking heavy toll.
And a lot of times it's people that you didn't help them when they were here.
And how many stories?
And a lot of people doing it for their citizenship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to be United States citizens. They'll go put it on the line when there's actual United States citizens who don't.
Right.
So I'm always encourage people to, like, treat everybody with love and respect, obviously, but especially combat vets.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, let's talk about
the concert.
Songster Soldiers. Let's get into that. Okay, we're back with Dustin Round, Songs4Soldiers. So we've kind of talked about, boot camp. We talked about your deployment. You're a combat veteran, and I appreciate that. Yeah. And you and I have had this conversation privately off air. There's a lot of times, and I've talked about my brother. My younger brother got deployed.
Yeah,
and I've always carried, like, it's weird because, like, some people you differentiate that term combat veteran.
Yeah.
And some people have a problem with that. And I'm not a guy, and you don't really seem this way either.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't wear my veteran status on my sleeve. It's not like...
It's not on my license plate.
Yes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not who I am. There are people who it becomes... there's very much their identity.
Right.
And they tend to, like, get prickly about stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't care. You can joke. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do any combat. Now... I do understand the risk was always there. I could have been deployed.
Absolutely.
I took the risk. The dice rolled different for me.
Yeah.
But I do have a tremendous amount of, and I know survivor's guilt is a huge thing with combat vets.
Very real.
My brother has it. His whole Humvee, his whole unit got blown to shit.
Yeah.
And he got a TBI from an explosion, like the concussive.
Yeah.
And you know what? I forgot what they call those, like the wounds you can't see. I think there's a term for it.
Moral wounds.
Yeah, moral wounds, And, he's told me some harrowing things about, like, and a lot of times veterans don't want to talk about it. They don't want to reach out for the help they need. And they're fucked up. And I've had a tremendous amount of, like, not survivor's guilt so much, but in some ways guilt that that my brother had to go through that and I didn't get deployed. Yeah. Or that even just that I didn't get, take my brother out of it, I still had a little bit of, like, I feel weird when people thank me for my service.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel a little strange. I don't usually tell people I was in the Army.
Yeah.
Unless I'm talking to someone, they're like, I was in the Army. I'm like, oh yeah, I was Fort Sill, And I feel like we're kind of that way.
Yeah, we are.
And I think that a lot of people, but I do think it's important to differentiate between combat and not necessarily saying, like, one is better than the other, but, like, just know that, like, war is ugly. It is a hard thing. And a lot of times these guys, they get back here and they don't get the help they need.
Right.
I've tried to do USO tours and whatever I can do. So, like, I'm happy to be promoting something like this if I could ever get involved.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool thing you're doing because you're helping combat veterans when they really need it, which is when they're back home.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with those traumas, and the everyday life becomes so hard. So tell us a little bit. So thanks for that. I want to put some respect on your name for that, because I think that's cool. And that's something that I've struggled with. And I think there's a lot of people out there. So if you're a veteran who didn't serve and you're listening to this, get involved, man. There's lots of stuff you can do. I'm sure you can reach out. Or if you know somebody who's going through shit who won't reach out on their own.
Because I happened on the show the other day.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, somebody, I think on YouTube channel or Instagram or something, while we were doing the Rizz Show segment, was like, yo, my brother's fucked up, man. I was like, dude, I can't remember the guy's name, but I was like, apply for him. We do that all the time. You know, like put the application form, tell me who you are. Makes sense. I've had wives do it. And honestly, God bless them, some of the older ones, like the Vietnam guys, like, I ain't got no fucking computer. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Can you send me your information? We'll pop it in.
Nice try, government.
No. It's that TikTok. Yeah.
How do you get those guys? You get just like paper docs?
Yeah. So, you know, no, that's so as I said on the show, at this point, we're very established and well known within especially the local VAs, meaning the St. Louis area. But we have been around long enough now where we've had caseworkers change jobs from the St. Louis VA to the Chicago VA to the San Diego VA to the Truman VA out in Columbia, Missouri. You get my drift. And then once they got there, they're like,
this is a good organization.
Can we, would you mind helping some veterans here in San Diego? I can't say no to that. Sure, of course. Huge presence out there, military presence. Lots of veterans out there coming off active duty that did do some combat deployments and just trying to readjust to civilian life as a whole. So, but a perfect example, you know, like I kind of said in the original pitch, caseworkers, psychologists, polytrauma, doctors, like there's a million branches of the VA that see and help a million different kinds of hardships. But they also probably hear more of the backstory than anybody in the way of, I'm just can't keep up with my mortgage. You know, I always use mortgages as an example. Or I need a new apartment. I need a new place. Okay, we'll do 2 months worth of rent and, you know, your deposit, stuff like that. So most of these applications have a VA reference that I know and can call. Hey, you know, is John cool? And everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I also, to be the dark side of this, charity, is the shitbags that reach out to us all the time. We have shitbags that I've helped twice, and I've done everything but call them a shitbag on the phone, or, you know, I'm like, dude, I don't care if you're a veteran or not. You're not doing anything good. So you're out. And that's the dark side of what we do, just so you know. This is not all, we're helping vet.
But you vet.
Yeah, we do.
And I mean, vet.
Try our vet. It's almost impossible to say you can be perfectly right. It doesn't.
You can't, but I think you have a lot of good safeguards in place.
Yeah. And also, you can pick up on the way they write the application. I don't know if I should say this. I don't like it when, never mind.
You don't want to say it? We can take it out, see how it sounds when it comes out.
We'll take it out. I want people to know how genuine this is. Like, I don't like, and I think this is where we're kind of the same. There's nothing wrong with being this way. But when I hear what I'm getting ready to say typed out or in a call, I know that it's just coached shit. And when I hear like, oh, I served my country and I gave up my, you know, and when they pull that shit and now I'm just getting fucked and all, you know, like, I'm like, wait, look, yes, we all did these, had to go do these things, but there still needs to be some level of self-responsibility,
right?
Self-awareness, right? And I remember this happening way before Songster Soldiers when I was coming back, and that, you know, you go get checked out, you get medically screened, and had my ear messed up a little bit over there, and like, you gotta document that.
Yeah.
For what? Later in life, I did
disability
okay,
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
but I just remember always hearing like, hey, you're owed this. You should go get it. But I disagree with it. Like, I think it's there if you need it. You have a firsthand example of it. I have some Army friends that are prime firsthand examples of needing this 100% disability so they can kind of live their quiet life down out in the country and just live.
Yeah.
It's real. People that need that shit is real. And I could very much go to the VA right now because of what I went through, answer questions, and walk out with $4,000 a month and still be employable.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's right. I think my blessing wouldn't be an extra $4,000 a month. Right. And I've heard, well, put that money in college fund for your kids. Fuck it. It's there. Take it. I hate that
mentality.
Hate that mentality.
Yeah.
My blessing is not being I have my wits and I got all my fingers.
Yeah.
Like it could have gone worse. For whatever reason, my brain keeps me protected from it. And I'm so grateful for that because that is way better than having to get that $4,000 a month because I can't function as good anymore because of give me this, right? But thank God we have that to help those that need it.
Right.
And I run into this shit all the time. And I don't like it.
You can kind of feel it on some applications. And
100%.
Like that.
And I can read it like, I'm like,
A little spider sense goes off.
Yeah. And I'm like,
you've been playing this victim.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
and
guys,
you are.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not I do not mean this as an across the board blanket of veteran.
Absolutely not.
But I think a lot of people that are going to hear this would agree with me.
I think so.
I think so. Songster Soldiers is now fucking doomed. I don't know, but it's just, it's reality.
Here's the reality that you and I talk about that a lot of people don't like saying, and I think you have the right to say it more than I, but there is kind of a catch-all net in the military sometimes where it's like all veterans are heroes. And it's just flat out not fucking true.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dickbags in the fucking United States military.
Yeah.
And anyone in the military will tell you that. It is a cross-section of the civilian life. Just like there's assholes and shitheads in civilian life, there are assholes and shitheads and sandbaggers and dictums.
Yeah.
And bad people, criminals join. There's people that are in Fort,
right.
Help me out.
Kansas.
Yeah. What is it? Leavenworth. Thank God. There we go. There's guys in Leavenworth because they were doing heinous crimes while they were in the military. It is a cross section of life. So I don't think, and I think people are scared to say that because there's such reverence for veterans in this country. And I have reverence for veterans.
Me too. 100%.
You are one. I am one to a lesser degree.
Dollar General, when I see that nice little old man buying some toothpaste and he's proudly wearing his Vietnam hat or Desert Storm hat. Thanks for your service. And it's always a genuine encounter.
100%.
Yeah.
Same. And I don't have a problem with people that wear it, that are proud of it.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's used as a shield for shitty behavior.
Yeah. No.
And I think that's what you're talking about. It's like I see people picking up the shield of like, I'm a veteran.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't mean you can be an asshole.
Right.
And that you could treat people badly or that you're not accountable for your behavior. Yes, these things happened.
Yeah.
And there are tools, and I wish the VA did a better job sometimes of like treating the source of the problem instead of just throwing money at it.
Yeah.
But there is also and I've had this conversation with my own brother where I'm like, hey, dude, I understand what you've been through. You can't blow up on our mom like that.
Yeah.
Like you're drawing a line in the sand between me and you and our mom.
Yeah.
And you're not going to like which side of this line I'm on.
Yeah.
And me and your younger brother are going to beat the shit out of you if you keep talking to her. And like and I'm not trying to throw my brother under the bus. I love my brother, but it's just real talk. Like sometimes I think there's this like flag waving, like, oh, they're veterans, so we can't. Every veteran deserves a shot and respect. But at the same time, there are shitheads.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say that. And I think a lot of guys, if you talk to people in the military, men, women, they'll be like, yeah, dude, this fucking guy. There's always like the guy you're talking about in your unit that you're like,
he got.
We shit in his boot.
Yeah.
There was a guy in our National Guard unit. He was a dickhead. Everybody hated him. We duct taped him in a porta potty and threw railroad rocks at it.
Yeah.
And then tumped it over. And then it was a whole fucking thing.
Good shit.
It was hilarious. A little mean in hindsight, but he was fine.
Yeah.
And he learned to be nicer to people. And so I think that's what you're saying.
If I could tie up that comment or little rant there, I guess you could say, if I could tie that up with compassion, let me also say this. I can't remember how many cases, but if I had to guess off the top of my head, I want to say 4 or 5 in the course of our history that talking about a veteran that is gone in prison, we helped. The veteran was the one that was being a terrible father, that was hitting his kids and hitting his wife, and then went to jail for it. We helped that lady and the kids.
Right.
Right. We are not saying I'm not. So like we're here for those situations.
100%.
And there's been, I think, 2 cases. I know one for sure where we were part of secretly relocating, and I had no idea where they're going. We paid the check.
A family,
right? Yeah, to where the authorities were doing their thing, but they still needed some money to do it, and so we did it to get away from a real nasty family issue, right? All that shit. So just if I could just offer an olive branch to what I just said is, I actually embrace helping those families of that shithead, because I'm sure combat had something to do with that guy being that way, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if it does. We just should still help them.
Yes.
So I don't know if that helps level off where I was coming from on that. But
I don't think you're coming from. I think you're coming from a very honest place. I think it's cool to have that conversation, because I've always said this, and this goes for myself too. Like when I was drinking, it all behavior ties in. Like everyone, if it wasn't for second chances, we'd all be alone.
Fucked.
Right.
Oh
so
my God.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always hope.
Mm-hmm.
There's always hope, even for the worst, the dicks of the dicks.
Yeah.
As long as I haven't done anything heinous, a heinous crime where you're like, the hope's fine, but you got to go to prison. But if it's just behavioral, there's always hope that they'll figure it out. And every single person deserves a chance of redemption. Yeah. I do believe that. But you got to be careful that you're not catching somebody on the way down.
Yeah.
Because they'll drag you down with them.
Yep.
And you got to try. You can be empathetic and at the same time be pragmatic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think you guys are really good at that.
Yeah.
You lead with empathy, but there's pragmatism behind it, and flexibility in your organization, which I love, where you're making decisions where, like what you just said, because there's so many things, if you're going through government red tape,
sure,
it takes so long to get things done.
We can just do it.
You guys can just do it, and you can make the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you don't get it right all the time, I think you got a pretty good fucking batting average.
I'm sure we do.
And you're trying to make the right call and get stuff done in a timely manner.
Right.
To help people in the moment they need it. Because that was a lot of problems I have with my brother with the VA, is I'd catch him in a moment of clarity where I'm like, you need help, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, call him.
Yeah.
Call him. You call him. They're like, we got an opening in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I go, I don't need you in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I need you right fucking now. Because in 12 weeks, he's not going to go.
Right.
And that's what would happen.
Yeah. Right.
So the fact that this is such a cool organization to me is because you guys have a reaction, a rapid reaction time, boots on the ground.
Possibly, yeah.
And you lead with empathy and love, and you got people in your organization that work with you that...
Yeah. We got a whole town behind it, man. We got a whole county behind it. And it's what's really cool about Songs being 12 years old is that the level of compassion and the level of, what people give to Songs to do that concert is they take personal time off to volunteer all week to hang lights and to help set up tents and signs and all, and then the local emergency county guy that oversees all emergency services in the county brings up the local town's generators so we can use their generators and save $5,000 on renting generators. It's just so the police are there and we don't get billed for it. And top down, fire department, EMS, they're there. And we're not getting billed for it. I do festivals for a living. You normally pay for those things.
Right.
And it's just I really believe at this point, it's S4S doesn't even feel like mine. The idea was popped in my head.
Right.
But now it's turned into such a great community thing. And I'll say something about the show specific is, knock on wood. Are these tables that fall over easily?
Knock on graphite. Knock on very ginger graphite that will fall over.
Guy in boot camp was here. We could...
Yeah.
Anyways, but we've never had a fight. And this is a concert with beer drinking. We've never had a fight. We've never had an argument. We're all there to, any wood over there?
Yeah, you shouldn't say that out loud.
No, I say it every year. Because
I'm coming and I'm starting to fight.
You're going to do it?
No, I won't. I'll come and behave. That's great. Yeah, I think when you got buy-in from a community, that really helps. And it's cool. The other thing that's cool about your organization, besides the fact that it's helping veterans and it's, it's designed that way, it's a nonprofit.
Yeah, 501c3.
501c3, non-for-profit. So all the money goes back into the organization. It goes back into making more things happen. Everybody's a volunteer.
Everybody's a volunteer. So
it's a labor of love, man, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not tied up in governmental red tape and stuff like that, and it is a nonprofit that has a board, I'm assuming most nonprofits do.
You have to. Yep.
I have a comedy festival, not doing nearly as much good in the world, but I know a little bit about how that works. We talked about yesterday, veterans even getting, at the end of their rope that nothing's worked, getting some like cutting edge experimental treatments. And one of those things was
game changer.
Big time game changer was psychedelics. And so can we talk about that a little bit 100%. Before we plug and get out of this? Because I really find this interesting because I've been approached by a clinic that does ketamine treatments for veterans. And I know that that's kind of a controversial topic, but I've had a lot of firsthand accounts for veterans like, dude, this fucking saved my life.
Yeah.
And this is a different thing, but it's similar, and I want to talk about it a little bit.
I think ketamine definitely has. We've helped veterans get ketamine treatments for sure. A little bit lesser, lighter version of maybe getting some help with hallucinogenics would be I never say the word right. Ayahuasca. Sorry.
Just say Aaron Rodgers. People will know.
But a lot of people do that stuff to be able to get to a little bit deeper of a place in their brains to help, fix it.
Unpack some trauma.
It sounds, okay, you're at Woodstock, you're on acid, you're doing this shit. And I don't.
One pill makes you taller, and one pill makes you small.
But so there's a treatment out there called ibogaine.
Yeah,
and I've never done it, but I kind of want to go, but I have a weird job for a living. I do large event production, and I think I need to stay a little fucked up in order to be able to handle this job.
Do you feel like you're fucked up?
What's that?
Do you feel like you're a little fucked up?
I don't need to chill out. I need to be able to keep going hard to do what I do for a living. I need to be able to redline. It's okay. Yeah. Trust. I know that sounds unhealthy. It's not. I take good care of myself. But
yeah, you can snap at any moment. That's fine.
And I just came back and my client's like, yo, man, when's the stage coming? No.
Every day is a concert, man.
By the way, you don't come back like that. But anyways, I'm poking fun. This sounds taboo. This sounds like some shit you hear about.
Yeah, it's just some snake oil shit.
There is a really cool place in Tijuana, Baja, Mexico, right across the border on the Pacific side called Ambio Life Sciences. And they are in a 100% clinical setting treating veterans with ibogaine, which is a heavy hallucinogenic medicine.
Right.
It's derived, correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody wants to fact check me, but I'm pretty sure from a frog or a toad of some sort from some country.
Licking the toad.
Obviously, they know what it is now, so they can synthetically make it, right? But you go down to this place, and ibogaine takes you to a part of your soul, whatever you want to call it, your inners, your deep in your brain, your heart. And I've had a lot of psychiatrists say the body doesn't create a chemical that can get you to this place.
Right.
That some people on the farthest end of the spectrum need to go.
They need to get there.
Find it. I would be very intrigued to see about this treatment for your brother.
Yeah, I would. It's an interesting thing.
But this is not. And if you go look,
how does it work for substance? If someone has substance abuse issues, is that problematic?
No, this stuff,
because people use it for that too.
It's highly effective so far that they're finding, and it's being studied really widely now. Stanford did a study. The VA is doing a 1-year emergency study on it because of the effects seem so positive. Right. Texas has passed it now to be a treatment through the VA, which is cool.
That is cool. And Texas, of all places,
Texas
crazy.
Of all places, very strange. But the dude from Lone Survivor, that guy, Marcus Luttrell, is the one that spearheaded lobbying that, and because he did it. And,
and he said it was critical in his health.
Yeah. And so, but this is not not from what everything I've read about, this is not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, this isn't a retreat.
Sick.
Yeah, this isn't a retreat.
You're in a nice place. Yeah. You're in a chill environment. They got good chefs. Before you even can go, and before you can even pay your deposit to go, you have to have an EKG done. You have to be at a certain point. But these guys go down, and girls, and they get this treatment, and it makes you sick. You can't walk. They help you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But you get to a place, from what I keep seeing and hearing, of a place that you need to get to for whatever it is you need to get to there.
Yeah.
They don't know why. I think that's okay. So you do that. And then the next day, we looked it up. I cannot, it's basically MDA, but it's like 50 MAU or whatever, MDA.
Yeah.
Once you're getting your health back and
Yeah.
you know, the IVs and right, you get you a good breakfast, like you do that one. And that is the, like the calm your nervous system down.
Right. The reset.
So, the veteran that he's going to speak at the concert this coming weekend, both nights, because I think it's important to see, went down there. And I mean, when this past February was a wreck because he lost his shit because he couldn't get into his gun safe. His wife changed it. He was ready to just blow his head off.
Yeah.
Fighter pilot, graduated Top Gun, forward observer, fighter pilot on the ground with special forces in Iraq, because those guys can call in accurate airstrikes with special forces from fighter jets. Been through some shit. So went down there drinking 2-3 bottles of wine a day, prescription drugs out the ass through the VA, and has since come home. Literally 6 days later, unrecognizable to his wife and kids in a good way.
In a great way.
Yes. And he'll tell you to this day, he's still patching that. That's not perfect now. He did a lot of damage over the few years, but his experience was so just, dude, the guy I was with, I just let out this massive scream and just fucking released it. Whatever that is. I'm not sitting there, there's no answer. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And he came back, and I was just with him this morning doing a Fox 2 segment, and it looks good. He's got his doctrines. Yep. I mean, this is a well-spoken, badass American fighter fucking pilot that we glorify in movies, right? And dude, we have since now become an official resource for AMBO. So when U.S. combat veterans apply down to them, Megan and Trevor and those guys are like, dude, reach out to these guys, right? And we go through the process. Did you get your med checks? You know, you're good to go. EKG, Pat, and they're giving us an amazing deal off of what it normally costs to go there by a couple $1,000s. And we have sent 4 have gone, and these 2 of them have called you on the phone like, hey man, I just want to thank you. Like that saved my fucking life. No drugs anymore. They're not on they got rid of their prescription drugs. And I think at this point, Rafe, we have like 10 slotted to go.
That's amazing.
Dude, and if we're spending $5,800 to change somebody's life for the rest of their life so far, I'm not saying we'll see what happens, but like I really believe that this is, for me, this has completely reinvigorated, after 12 years of doing Songster Soldiers, my fire. Because if
that's awesome,
this is what you're talking about, this is what we talked about earlier, and not band-aiding something.
Right.
Trying to fix it. And man, this shit is...
and it's a sliver of what you guys do, but I think it's an important sliver that could grow.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think about it like this, and these guys are going down there, they're reporting back to you like, hey man, I was ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
And now I have hope. I feel my coping mechanisms. I always say this about sobriety, and it's probably similar. You know, people are like, how do you get sober? And I go, you try everything. And if it doesn't work, you start over and try it all again.
Yeah.
There's no one size fits all for anybody.
Nope.
So we're not advocating for that. But if it does fit in certain circumstances, you know what I mean? And I think that those options should be open to people. And sometimes you get caught in the red tape of things like that. So that's what's really good about your organization is like, we need to be giving these veterans that are struggling the absolute forefront of science and what we can be working on, as long as it's safe. And these things have been vetted and it's safe. And like, you know,
and again, now it is officially being studied on a 1-year study for the VA.
I've seen tons of documentaries about
how
psychoactive and specifically psychedelic parts of your brain
can
talk to each other that don't normally talk, and synapses heal.
Yeah.
You know, when you go through trauma, especially when it's violent trauma, like, signals get crossed, things get jumbled up there. I'm going to
paraphrase a bit, but you might know this. He sounds like he's super versed on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I had heard it this way. I think if you're an alcohol alcoholic or on meth or any kind of drug, and you're trying to get clean, I think it takes the body about 30 days to completely get rid of all the chemical that can affect anything that's in your body with any of those said things. I think I read that right.
Sure.
They're saying that after one treatment of ibogaine, it can do this in 90 hours.
That's insane.
So addiction is also a huge part of this treatment, right? And
but a huge thing about it,
reason why it's not legal in America is because there's no money in that shit.
Yeah,
there's no money in fixing people for good.
Exactly.
And so it's got a hell of a long way to go. But I'll say this: I heard a psychiatrist, the same psychiatrist that told me we got to get traded to Mexico. Same guy, Dr. Shapiro. He's got his office right over off of Forsyth. Great dude. He said, think about the path of American history all the way back to the Revolutionary War. Veterans were always a medical guinea pig that then branched out to being able to help civilians.
Right.
So all the prosthetics that started, especially around Civil War, right? All those things started because of the war. And well, let's just try this. Like, veterans in our country have long been a guinea pig. And I don't mean that in a mean way. These are ideas to try to help that person. It's not like we got them in a wheel.
They've been on the forefront of a lot of medical tech.
That most things that average Joe listener that's going to hear this benefit from now were studied and are brought forth through that.
Veterans were the first.
I haven't. And that's pretty true.
I hadn't, but it totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because the funds are there.
Yeah.
And the wounds are there, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And that's, it's an interesting thing to me. I think everything should be explored to help these people. And I think it's a cool thing that your organization is open to things like that.
100%.
And that these guys are getting the help they need.
And I'll say this too, Rafe.
I think with addiction too, the thing about it curing addiction, not for everybody, some people, like, there's a physical addiction. You get alcohol or your body needs it, etc. But a lot of times abuse or addiction comes from, and I've heard someone say this before, was a doctor said, addiction is a symptom that becomes the sickness.
Yeah.
And what that means is, like, usually you're trying to cope, whatever your drug of choice is, heroin, alcohol, sex, whatever your thing is, you're using it as a coping mechanism to not deal with this thing over here.
Right.
And this circle's huge. Yeah. This circle's little, whatever your addiction is. But this circle, as you use that alcohol or whatever the addictive substance is, the circle grows.
Yeah.
And soon it's almost a bigger problem than the original problem you weren't dealing with. So you got to deal. A lot of times addicts have to deal with the addiction and then go to therapy and then go and unpack the problem they were trying to not unpack. Yeah. And it sounds like this is attacking both circles at the same time, which is dope.
And I will say this too, now that we're an official resource for them down there, the applications that are coming to us from them or via them, or when people learn about us, the service history of these, it hasn't been a lady yet, but the service history of these guys is insane.
Yeah.
They weren't some field truck escort combat guy. They're 13, 14, 15 tours, Rangers, Delta Force, fighter pilots.
Sure.
Clearly hand the shit.
Yeah.
That clearly.
But don't discount your service.
No.
And I know you're not.
I've never seen our application
I get exactly what you're saying.
Consistently be for one thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that we are able to be here for this and that this has transpired in year 12.
Yeah, and that's like actual
fucking rad.
And you do so many things with this organization, whether it's just helping with get people get by with a few bills, to helping them get treatment, to helping families relocate. Like, there's so many examples of, like, the way Songs4Soldiers is attacking this on a daily case-by-case basis. And that's why this concert's so important. A personal question.
Yeah.
From a personal, have you ever, from your experience, because, no matter what, that you experienced trauma over there.
Mm-hmm.
How have you dealt with that on a personal level? Like, have you done group therapy? Have you done stuff with the VA? Like, how do you cope with the day-to-day? Has anything like that ever manifested in your own life?
This sounds crazy.
I've heard you say you feel like you're lucky that your brain kind of protected you from it.
So like when I talk, and we didn't go too in depth about that really, really bad attack we were in when Mac got taken POW and stuff, but
was he ever returned?
No, they found his remains in 2008.
Okay.
So when I go back to the different times that we were attacked and in firefights, whether I was a driver or up in the turret on the gun, I'm sure a lot of veterans can relate to this. We got in plenty of shit, plenty of firefights. Fired my weapon plenty of times at targets.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking can't remember seeing them.
Like disassociation type stuff?
Yeah, like I remember right where it was coming from, right where the tracers were coming from. Right, I can't remember, and I would just put it right on them.
Yeah. And
my brain, at first, I always felt bad about that. I'm like, no, this is a good fucking thing.
Your brain protected you from.
Yeah, like
what's the old adage? The training takes over.
I just have all those attacks, but it's specifically that really bad one. The only reason I can tell that whole story of that 3-mile long firefight in Kill Zone is because it's been on the military channel. It's been on 60 Minutes. I've talked to my friends. I know what each person went through that survived.
Right.
So that's in my brain. I can tell that story.
Sure.
What I actually remember is like 6 flashpoints. Drive that dude in the tank. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Don't go in there.
driving past a burning fuel truck. The heat and the smell of the diesel on a 90-degree Baghdad day.
Mm-hmm.
Realizing the convoy was no longer going straight and it was going over an overpass into the fucking neighborhood that we were getting attacked from. And then going up on that bridge and almost sliding off the other side of it because all the fuel trucks were full. So they were shot up and it made it like black ice, right? So to answer your question, Rafe, sorry.
No. Finish the flashpoints. I want to hear this.
Yeah. And then when I got across that bridge, all the roads, it was 90 degrees on a Friday, and all the trucks had been shot up.
Mm-hmm.
So fuel was just dumping out of the tankers.
Right.
So it was like black ice, right? Hot oil. And when we were coming around that overpass, I was like, fuck. I started losing. I was like, man, if I hit this curb going like this, it's going to dump our truck and we're going to flip Craig out, right? Of the 50 cal turret. And I just remember specifically that fucking truck grabbing. It grabbed just something, grabbed grip. I was like, oh shit.
To get through.
But then when I looked to my left, I should have seen, 13 trucks behind me, 14, 15 trucks. Nothing but black smoke.
Yeah.
And we just had to keep moving forward or we were fucked. And so then at the top of that bridge, going down into like this neighborhood, we were getting low on ammo. And that was the weirdest moment of like, I remember specifically thinking, fuck, hit me already, man. Like, fuck this. Like, it wasn't like giving up. I was like, it was hot and heavy, man. I was just like, when's it going to hit me? When's this fucking bullet going to take me out? And literally, and I don't know the time difference between that thought and when I saw next. Could have been 5 minutes, could have been 5 seconds, could have been 5 milliseconds. I saw way down through that neighborhood, that road we were getting ready to go down to, and all the muzzle flashes and shit coming from the buildings. I saw 2 tanks. I was like, fuck it. And us vehicles that were still rolling just went there.
To go into where the tanks
right into it. And I just remember, but then other firefights where I was a gunner shooting at the targets, I remember shooting right at the targets. I remember getting shot at and seeing right where it was coming from. I can't see killing them.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I don't, maybe I didn't. I just being very brutally honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that I was shooting right at targets and right at dudes shooting at me.
Right.
And I'm at 41 and as a dad, that's fine. I don't need this. I don't fucking need it. And I hope I hope nothing happens physiologically that makes me start seeing it. I don't want to.
Yeah, me too.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I've had that survivor shit happen to me when I was younger. Like, man, fuck. I feel bad talking about this. I can't even fucking remember killing him. That's okay.
You have survivor's guilt over a lot of that
Maybe
stuff?
I did. I don't anymore. And then, Rafe, what helped me the most was coming up with this idea. And in year 1 and 2,
you beat me to my next question.
I couldn't say to Rafe, or I couldn't say to a sponsor, hey man, we've helped out we spent the $1.5 million on 1,000 combat veterans. That makes sponsors be like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll jump on your team. This is cool shit.
Yeah.
I had to.
Which at this point, what are you up to?
I had to tell my story. Like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
And what I wanted to do sounded great. But then when I talked about that experience and what I went through in Iraq, and I told Matt's story, talked about Goodrich, talked about Krause, I think I started talking about it a lot to sponsors. I'd go on a radio interview. We're doing Songster Soldiers, first thing ever, 2013.
I feel like you almost inadvertently were processing.
I subconsciously was just getting it out there, and I think it became unexpectedly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
I was never a down in the dumps veteran, hitting the bottle. I've never had that.
Well, everybody processes trauma differently.
Yeah.
Also, and that's why I was kind of wanted to ask. But that totally makes sense to me. And
I'd like to tip my hat though to some genetic fate, because my dad is cool the other side of the pillow in really shitty situations. My grandpas were cool as a pillow in shitty situations, and I'm fortunate to have that. That has nothing to do with going to Iraq for a year.
Yeah,
that's just I'm very lucky that I had my dad, and like that I was just maybe born with a cool gene or something that helps us kind of
laid back
stay
gene.
Cool in shitty situations. Does that make sense?
It does.
So everybody's like, "Oh, you're veterans, why you're no, fuck that." And it's like I just got really
that laid back gene, baby.
Cool as fuck. That's what it is. And my mom's chill too. You know,
my dad's cum was real good.
Yeah,
it made me cool.
And I hope my son Charlie gets your DNA.
Me too. Maybe your metabolism.
To put a bow on this interview, I'm raising Rafe's twins.
Yeah, his son does look like he could be my kid, and there is an investigation underway.
Worked at the Pepper Lounge. Rafe used to brief the Pepper Lounge during his.
It's true, and I was blacking out back in those days. So
she came home one day, and I was like, well, I guess I got her pregnant. And then, lo and behold, this past May, Charlie and Rafe got next to each other. I was like, and we all like, uh-oh.
Yeah, the boy looks like he could be of my ilk. He had his David Lee Roth moment where I was like, "This is my son."
To be raising him for you.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I'm glad I could help you out.
And you have my word that I won't ever come back at you for any money.
Good, because I don't have any. But I do think the organization is good.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you about your personal stuff, because it is different for everybody. Yep. And in some ways, I think this organization, the same way I said I wanted to go on USO tours and I wanted to do something to give back, because that was a way of me of like mitigating guilt or mitigating feelings I had. Maybe not guilt, but you know what I mean. Maybe this has become that for you in the most positive, totally healthy way of like, this is kind of like you almost created your own therapy.
And there was
by creating this organization, and it's grown past you, which has got to be a great feeling.
Way past.
So how many millions are we up to now helping?
We've spent over $1.5 million now. And we literally
that's awesome.
Just crossed over the 1,000th veteran that we had helped.
Right.
But yeah, that what to you hit on a good point, and I'll keep it very brief. But
sure, there
was between the creation of S4S and becoming a dad, and like realizing, okay, I felt, all of us felt really bad about leaving a fucking dude behind.
For sure.
It's like the thing you don't do, right? The one fucking thing you don't do. And because of songs, I've been able to, for whatever reason, forge a good relationship with Matt's mom and brother. And that too was just really a release.
It's probably therapeutic in its own way, yeah.
I think that they come to Columbia. I don't know if they'll be able to come this year, but they've been to almost all of them. Right? We fly them in from Ohio. And but if I could maybe offer some advice to a veteran, this seemed to help me. I don't know when this was. I just remember it happening, probably within the last 6 years. I just kind of quit trying to fucking understand it. I just kind of had to quit trying to understand why I'm here, why they're not. And I have my certain time of the day where I see it almost every day, where I just think about those three guys real quick, just a quick little nod to the hat to Goodrich, Cross, and Moffitt. And, like, hey man, I'm sorry you're not here.
Yeah.
Wish you were. I'm thinking about you for the next 30 seconds, minute, and it happens in my job where I'm just like, I'm having a crazy day. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Okay, needed to see that.
Yeah.
But I just kind of quit trying to understand, because you can't understand it. You're not supposed to understand it. And then furthermore, okay, you are here.
Right.
So let's have some fun, raise the family, let's keep the Songs for Soldiers thing going, and maybe that's part of why you're here. But my advice would be just like quit trying to fucking understand it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it.
Sense?
And 100% makes sense. And I think that like you can't, and get the help you need.
Yeah,
whatever can get you to that point. Get the help you need. Because a lot of times, I hate to keep making the sobriety parallels, but it's
so right. There's
a lot of parallels, and it's like, one of the things about getting out of yourself. And it's like if you're trapped in a moment, you keep reliving, do something selfless. Go help somebody else.
Yeah.
Help somebody carry their groceries
open the door.
Loan somebody $10. Yeah. Open the door for
Say
somebody.
Hi to people on a walk.
That can be it.
Yeah.
Do something that isn't about you or isn't you-centric. And I'm not saying that like people who are processing that trauma are like wallowing or anything like that. You're not. You're fucked up. But a good way to stop feeling fucked up is to like go do something kind for somebody else. Step out of that moment for a second. And then that can give you a little bit of perspective of like, okay, now I can work on myself, and it kind of resets the clock. And I think a lot of what you're doing does that. Tell us real quick, give us the rundown, tickets, times.
Main feed.
Let's hit, you want to do it in your close-up? Go to 3. Yeah. Tell them in 3 what's going on.
Songs for Soldiers. Imagine this is coming out next week, so Songs for Soldiers is this weekend. Am I saying that right? We're going to drop this next week?
It's not Labor Day weekend. It is the 5th.
It's September 5th and 6th. Yeah. September 5th, we have Craig Morgan, Joe Stanband, Cluster Pluck. September 6th, we have the Wallflowers, Jimmy Griffin and the Incurables, My Band Dazed N Confused, the Yacht Rockers, Mississippi River Rats. And the other cool thing about our show, guys, like I said earlier, our sponsors cover the nut on this thing. So all we're asking you to do is bring a lawn chair, buy a $30 ticket, have a really good time. If your kids are under 12, bring them for free. If you have a veteran buddy, he or she can redeem their ticket online. Veterans are welcome. And if you're talking about sobriety, but if you like having a cold Budweiser at a concert, guess what? They're only $5 or $6. Right?
That's a good deal.
We keep it super affordable. We got a bunch of NAs on site for Rafe. And anyways, no, it's a good thing, guys. And I promise you, if you do come over to Columbia, by the way, free parking, you'll come again. And our goal is never who's playing the show. It's never about. I'm grateful for having the Wallflowers and Craig Morgan. The goal is what we're doing all year long, and we're giving you a concert to have fun at, so we can then take that money to do what we've just talked about the last.
And this is a big part of the nest egg.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna have a good time.
It's 87% of it probably.
So think about that. You're having a good time. You get to see great artists. You get to have cheap, affordable beer. Bring your family and your veterans for free, and you get to feel good.
Yeah.
That you donated. You're basically donating to a cause that is helping veterans quick, fast, and in a hurry, which is not usually something that happens in the military. It's usually hurry up and wait. So it's a great organization. I recommend everybody go to Columbia, go to these concerts. Is there a way for people to donate if they can't make the concert?
Yeah, you can go to our website, s4sstl.org, and donate there. And you have our word, whether you give us $10 or $100, 100% will go to the cause.
That's right. This is a great organization. You're a great dude. I love you, man. You're a fucking good dude. Thank you for raising my son.
You're welcome.
And to be such a good.
There's 2, dude.
Stop trying to put all of your kids on me.
Well, they're twins, Rafe.
Oh, yeah, I guess I got. It's hard for me not to take one and not the other. Maybe it was one of those weird, like a Danny DeVito things, like the son's mine, daughter's yours. We'll see. This could be a sitcom. You're a good dude, man.
Thank you.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. I love you, and the organization's awesome. Thanks for doing this. And this concludes Rizz Show After Hours.
That's right.
With Dustin Row.
Talking about Army donors.
All right. Go to Songs for Soldiers. See you on the next one.